Hey everyone, this is Jack speaking. Today we will dive in the biggest crypto scam, which also happens to be one of the biggest scams in history. Sorry for not making a video for so long, but recently I have been killing myself from work and somebody just ruined 26 working days in a row, so thank him for me making this video. I reached to the point that I had to electrocute myself to go to work with this sadistic alarm clock, which now I have to return because it doesn't work anymore. Before we get to the biggest crypto scam, I want to tell you about this cryptocurrency we have been populating for quite a while now. Its name is Blockmason Credit Protocol, or BCPT for short. If you don't know anything about it or what we managed to achieve with the currency, have a look at the channel trailer video and you'll get all the details you need. Now let's see who committed the biggest crypto scam in the world and how exactly did they manage. The scam has been made through a cryptocurrency called Onecoin and it classifies as Ponzi scheme. Many people would call any particular cryptocurrency scam, so let me clarify something first. A currency, no matter if it's digital or not, is, as already mentioned, a currency. That's it. People who use that currency to commit scam, they're the scammers. So don't go around calling buses and airplanes scam just because somebody used such to commit fraud. On the other hand is the community behind the currency which gives it its value, them using it, exchanging it, developing it, and everything else related to that currency is what keeps its value up because people keep buying it, pushing the price up. So imagine for a second that the British pound was just being developed by John Smith or whatever. If John Smith turns out to be a bloody scammer, and all of you knows that he's a scammer and he's the inventor, all of you is going to start selling that currency, which is going to drop the price down to zero. So John Smith, because he's a scammer, doesn't make the currency scam, which doesn't mean that the currency is completely useless. But all of you made it go down to zero, which made it useless. For those of you who doesn't know what Ponzi scheme is, the term is named after Charles Ponzi, who at the time committed the biggest fraud of the kind. He was not the first to commit such fraud, but until then there was no specific term for it. Basically, he was convincing investors with promises for some solid returns. He promised clients a 50% profit within 45 days or 100% profit within 90 days, and as you can imagine, nobody in the world can give you that, not even Warren Buffett. The profits was being paid from the money of the newly tricked investors, which was used to build the trust needed for such a scam to work. Frauds of this type are usually being shut down by the scammer themselves at the point that the payouts start exceeding the investments, because at that moment they start actually losing what they managed to steal from people, and they're no longer able to maintain the illusion of a legitimate business. Simple but very effective tactic used by many scammers all over the world for a very long time. Let's get back to Onecoin. It was promoted by Bulgaria-based offshore companies Onecoin Ltd, registered in Dubai, and One Life Network Ltd, registered in Belize. Both companies have been founded by Ruja Ignatova in concert with Sebastian Greenwood. I want to clarify something about Ruja, which you would most likely not find anywhere on the internet. The slightly darker skin and the odd name, to someone like me, born and raised in Bulgaria, says loud and clear that Ruja is a Bulgarian gypsy. I'm not trying to defend the rest of us, as the fact that we share nationality means nothing, but I'm just stating the obvious to me. The OneCoin scheme was described by the Times as one of the biggest scams in history. US prosecutors have alleged that the scheme brought in approximately $4 billion worldwide. Ruja Ignatova disappeared in 2017, near the time a secret US warrant was filed for her arrest, and her brother, Konstantin Ignatov, took her position. I'm thinking maybe somebody like me found out exactly what she was doing and make her disappear, instead of her finding out the exact moment she should do so. Most of the leaders of OneCoin have now either disappeared or being arrested. Greenwood was arrested in 2018, as was Konstantin Ignatov in March 2019. In November 2019, Konstantin pleaded guilty to charges of money laundering and fraud. The total maximum sentence for the charges is 90 years in prison. Keep in mind that I'm not teaching you how to scam people, but rather how to protect yourself from scammers, or else I might make you disappear next. You feel me? The company behind Onecoin was selling educational packages, supposedly teaching people about financial freedom. The packages being sold could vary anywhere between $100 and $100,000. Let's hear what this victim has to say about how she got scammed.
What were you told about investing in Onecoin and what it could earn you?
We were told that it's the value of it once you purchased. They were packages, so a £5,000 package. When you bought it, it turned into a digital currency value of 48,000. That's how it was approached to you.
Right. Which sounds like an amazing,
financially life-changing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not even going to talk about the intelligence of such a person, because it is completely pointless. If this was to be true, and there is absolutely no possible way on earth that this could be true, me or anybody else could simply buy the 5,000 package, sell it for 48,000 and gain straight away 43,000 profit, and do that over and over and over again until they become a quadrillionaire. Duh. Please pause this video and hit the like button, as it helps me tremendously to build this channel. Also, if you don't have a portfolio but you want to start building such, or you do have a portfolio but you're not happy with your current broker, have a look down in the description. The exchanges you see there are trustworthy and they charge fair fees. Depending on which one of them you decide to go with, they might even give you a welcome bonus. Or you can go with all of them, as I always advise all traders and investors to use at least a few exchanges for an extra layer of safety. You're probably wondering, how did Ruja Ignatova manage to gain so much trust and popularity to be able to commit such a massive fraud? Well, to begin with, she studied at Oxford, had a PhD, and had previously worked for McKinsey, which is a very exclusive global consulting group. I didn't know we have gypsies who graduate such elite university. Probably her parents were stealing big time as well, so they can actually afford to give her such an education. Not that somebody's credentials actually mean anything, because for $4 billion I'm sure 99.9% of the population would sell their own mother. Ruja also had regular appearances in public where she talked about Onecoin and what a big opportunity it is.
What we will do as a company, we will double the coins on your accounts. In 2 years, nobody will speak about Bitcoin anymore.
Of course, as you can imagine, there was a lot of misrepresenting reality and well-considered clever tricks. Like when you googled her name, the first image that showed up was Forbes' front page cover with her. This was misleading people to believe that Forbes has actually made a front cover interview with her. What it really was a paid advertisement in Bulgarian Forbes. She also organized a beauty contest, which was a very strange event. The top 5 contestants was either given $25,000 in plastic surgery vouchers or the equivalent in amount in Onecoin. The company claimed that it would have an audience between 20 and 50 million people and that it was sponsored by Vogue. Both of these couldn't be any further from the truth. There was only a few hundred people at the event and Vogue had no idea about the contest. But this was not the only ways that Ruja Ignatova was misleading people to believe that Onecoin is in fact a very promising investment. I believe what helped her the most was her public appearances, because in general people wouldn't expect a scammer to broadcast their scheme so openly in front of the whole world, on television, etc. Well, I'm sure with a few surgeries and a fake identity, anyone in the world can become somebody else entirely and nobody being able to actually recognize them. I hope all of you managed to learn something to better protect yourself and your assets, and just remember the main thing: if something is too good to be true, it probably isn't. Thank you all for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and I'll see you next time.